Committee?
Mr. Chairman, Madam Chairman,
Thank you.
did you want to pull three?
Three and I've got a question on four as well.
All right.
Okay, I'll move consent and everything except 3 and 4.
Is there anyone in the audience that would like any item pulled? Seeing none, call the roll on the motion.
Laner,
Yes.
Hadlett,
Yes.
Rude,
Yes.
Shemento,
Yes.
Withus,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes. Item number 3, can we get a motion on that?
Move it.
Second.
All right, who had the question, Jim? Okay.
Probably Rick.
Turn your mic on.
Good afternoon.
Under this new plan and program, Rick, what happens if it doesn't work?
There is a warranty period on it, or we have 30 days to decide whether we actually want the license or not. And if we decide that we don't have to go through with the purchase. So we do have the ability to make sure it works before we pay.
Any further questions?
Yeah, Rick. What's not exactly working? Is it, I've heard just shrugging his shoulders, or if you look at where that area is there, you can be inside the secured, or you just got off the aircraft. I'm coming out, my family says, wait, I've gotten almost to the door, I go back. Is that what's setting it off, or what's setting this thing off?
Chairman Olson, Mr. Rude, what happens is that it gets a lot of false positives. So people are coming from the sterile side. They open that first set of doors. They walk through. They don't walk sideways. They don't stop. They don't divert. They do exactly what they're supposed to do, and the alarm goes off.
Oh.
And it does that at about a 15% rate. And so you can see when you've got 100 people coming off an airplane, or two 80-person aircrafts, unloading at the same time. It'll go off 3 or 4 times, and that requires staff to be actually at the door to watch and then turn that alarm off and alert TSA that there isn't a breach, and that is, not a great way to run a railroad.
Thank you.
Sure.
Any further questions? Thank you. Any further comments on this item? All right, call the roll.
Hadlett,
Yes.
Rude,
Yes.
Shemento,
Yes.
Withus,
Yes.
Olson,
Yes.
Laner.
Yes.
Item number 4, the airport landscape project.
Move it.
Second.
And do you have a question on that as well for Rick? Okay.
Rick, it was unclear to me in reading the stuff about this proposal, who's gonna water those trees, or how is that gonna be taken care of?
Yeah, Chairman Olson, Mr. Hadlett, the City Forestry Department will take care of all the watering for it. So they'll come by with their water trucks and take care of them, and anything that doesn't live, they'll replace.
How long do they anticipate watering those things? Is it gonna be multi-year, or?
I don't know the answer to that. I don't know how long they're thinking.
Any further comments? Call the roll.
Hadlett,
Yes.
Rude,
Yes.
Shemento,
Yes.
Withus,
Yes.
Olson,
Yes.
Laner.
Yes.
Motion passes. And we'll call the airport director one more time for a report.
Good afternoon. I'm happy to be warm and dry for an hour or so. So our November report, just before I get started, just a quick picture to remember what the new terminal looked like as late as last week before all the snow. And then today, I've got some pictures that were taken this morning. Obviously, we've had a pretty major snow event, and I would like to take the opportunity to publicly thank the airport staff for their very hard work throughout this. They've been on duty 24/7 throughout this. Our main focus, as you've heard me say a number of times up here, is safe and secure. And I can tell you that we've had a safe and secure operation. We have been able to keep the runways open. We've been able to keep the taxiways open. The ramp has been a challenge for us. But with the wind coming straight out of the north, every time we clean it off, it piles back up. So we're back at it again. But I've seen a lot of storms over the years, and this one is a particularly difficult one because it's the type that just doesn't give you a chance to get back into the game. It just keeps coming and coming and coming, and the things, the items that were not a high priority for clearing early on become a priority later because you just haven't been able to get to them in trying to keep the runways and taxiways open. But like I said, those have remained open. There have been certainly some delays over the last 24 hours, but no cancellations because of the weather, and we've been able to get everything out. The old terminal, probably close to the last time I will bring this up until final payment. But as you know, the terminal came down. It came down on schedule and within budget. I think there was only the one change order that you approved just a few moments ago. But that project went very well. I'm not certain whether or not they got the grass seed down early last week before the weather changed or not. So that could be the last thing to go. I would say that we're beyond planting grass at this point, so it'll be the spring before that happens. But the surface has been graded, and it's all done. Quickly, our master plan progress update. We did have in October an open house for the general public to come out and give their comments on the different options that we've got before us at this point. It was not particularly well attended, but we did have it. We did answer a few questions. At this point, the FAA is reviewing what options we have, giving their input. Obviously, because any projects that we would do would typically have 90% funding by the FAA. They do take a pretty sharp interest in what our plans are. Running through the numbers, in plane passengers, again, green is 2016, so we were up from September, and in October we had just under 13,000 passengers that we boarded. Our load factor remains strong, right at 83%, 83.6% for the month of October. Rental car activity fairly flat from last month, still doing much better in the second half of the year than we did in the first half of the year. Concession sales remain strong, another good month in October. I'll remind you again that the the purple line in this slide is the minimum annual guarantee, so that is the least we can expect in terms of sales, but being above that line is a good thing for us. With that, I'd be happy to entertain any questions that you have.
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any other business to come before us?
Just-
Alderman Lehner?
Just an update for anybody that's traveling. I just updated the DOT road map, and the whole central part of the strait is now no travel advised.
All right. On that,
We're stuck here at City Hall. Bring the pizza on, Shimento.
we are adjourned. Stay safe.